Hey guys, what the fork? Welcome back to my channel. Today, I just want to talk, me and you and I. Don't want to do much editing. God, I feel like I say this in a lot of videos. Guys, just expect me not to edit these videos greatly because I just want to talk. And I advise you, if you don't like the speed of my talking, if I talk too slow for you, because I gotta take my brain needs some processing time. I advise you to put the video on double speed and then you can just watch the video, but I'll just be speaking like blah, 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 blah. Okay, today I want to talk about OCD and lying, or compulsive truth telling. I haven't done a ton of research for this video because I feel like I don't need to. I want to talk about my experience because that's what the fuck I do on this channel anyways. I just talk about my experience and then people relate and people seem to like it, so I'm gonna keep doing it. I have some notes here and I guess I am gonna cut this video a little bit because I do brain fart quite a bit. I want to talk about some things that I did growing up that were clearly linked to OCD, and they were moments where I felt like I had to be telling the truth all the time. I had to confess things, like I couldn't lie and shit like that, otherwise I'd feel super fucking guilty. I know this is a part of OCD because I've spoken to other people with OCD who have this kind of, I guess, theme or this super guilt around lying. And yeah, so that's the reason I didn't do a whole load of research, because I just want to talk about my experience. And did I not just say that in the beginning? Yes, I did. Okay, so starting off, when I was younger, I had this habit, I guess all the way from when I was a kid up until I was an adult. 17, 18 was the last time I did something like this, but I had this habit of doing things that, I wasn't supposed to do, or I guess I thought my mum would tell me off for. And depending on how bad the thing was, for example, I would tell my mum that I'm going to sleep over, but instead I'll be smoking weed with my friends in the forest. That's just one example. So that is kind of a bigger scale thing that she'd have a bigger reaction to. So I will wait accordingly to confess that to her. So for that, I think I waited 1 year to tell her that that's what I was actually doing at that sleepover. But for smaller things, like I stole something from the shop accidentally, or not accidentally, for smaller things like that, I would wait maybe a week or a month to tell her. But yeah, so I just had this habit of feeling like I had to tell my mum every single time that I lied, feeling like I had to confess. And also, I want to talk about the fact that OCD is related to trauma. Our themes may not always be rational or related to trauma, but a lot of the time they are. And I do clearly remember in my life that my mother did used to gaslight me a lot and accuse me of things I haven't done. So I guess it kind of makes sense for my OCD to latch onto that, but it's kind of funny that I used to be accused of being a liar a lot of the time when I literally had this this drive in me that I just had to tell the truth all the time. Although I did start off with a lie and I didn't say the truth until weeks, months, years later, so that kind of is anyway. I also, and this here might overlap, for those of you that don't know, I do suspect that I'm autistic and I'm in the diagnosis process. So this might be bordering into autism, but I do feel like people with OCD might be able to relate. So throughout all my life, and even now, I absolutely hate saying things that are not 100% true. I'll give you a few examples that always come to my head. So for example, wearing a shirt that says LA, if I've never been to LA or I have no connection to LA, why in the world would I ever wear a shirt that has LA on it? I just don't get it. Or wearing a shirt that has swimmer or dancer. If you're not an actual dancer or swimmer, do you understand? And people just did that. People just wore shirts and brands as well. I never understood brands, but that's for another video. Okay, this bordering on autism, like I said, certain metaphors and similes that I just didn't get. Or when people say I'm dying right now, when they're tired, even though I use that now, I will say that now. It took me a long time to actually be able to use that and understand that the person is not actually dying. So someone please let me know if this is, because I actually can't figure out if this is more of an autism thing or an OCD thing. So yeah, I'm going to stop talking about that. But I hated saying things that were not 100% true. I also had immense guilt when telling white lies. Whenever I told a white lie, and you know, even if it's to save my ass, even if it's the tiniest thing, straight away I'll get that gut OCD feeling, and it'll be like, I'll just know that karma's about to get me, or I'm gonna have an unlucky week, something bad's gonna happen, and it's because I've told that lie. Another thing that I have not been very good at in my life is keeping secrets, and I really hated this about myself, but I couldn't. And the bad thing about this is not only that I couldn't keep someone's secrets, it's the fact that if I ever said I promise, like I said earlier, I hated saying things that are not 100% true. So if I ever promised someone that I wouldn't tell their secret, but I did, you bet that I was going to have a horrible week, day, or month ahead of me, because the guilt that I felt breaking those promises is unlike no other. It's like I've done the worst thing ever. It is as if I should go to prison for breaking that promise. And so I actually started not saying I promise, and now I really do not say I promise if I genuinely know I can't keep the promise. I used to have this massive guilt of like, if it kind of put someone in danger, or if it was like, I don't know, something that people said, like, don't tell my mom about this, don't tell this person about this, like, I don't know, I couldn't stand other people lying. I couldn't stand them pretending that, you know, what I now know to be true, they're portraying to someone else as if it's not true. So I just had to tell the truth. I had to tell the truth, but I'm not like that anymore, because I don't feel that massive guilt around always having to say the truth. At one point when I was going to a certain uni, I got myself into deep shit. I was really broke, and I couldn't afford food. And one day I stole something from Sainsbury's. It was literally a granola bar. But I cannot tell you how much I was shaking that day, how physically exhausted, the anxiety that was seething through my body made me for stealing a fucking granola bar when I was starving. And so yeah, I also had massive guilt if I ever like cheated on anything, any lies, any cheating of the system. Massive guilt, and the feeling that I'm gonna get bad karma. And so yeah, I wanted to talk about this. I hope you guys like this video. It was kind of more chatty, not so like informative, like this is that. But I just wanted to talk about my experience with that, and say that if you have OCD and you struggle with compulsive truth telling or super immense guilt even when you tell white lies, I want you to know that you're not alone in that, and it is a part of OCD. And now that I'm in recovery from OCD, I don't feel that guilt, or that karma's gonna get me bad, or that something bad's gonna happen when I tell a simple lie. I can even tell a bigger lie and be fine. I'm not condoning, not saying that you should be a liar, guys. I try to live my life as truthfully as I can, but shit, life is life, and it's really not that deep as you make it OCD, okay? It's not that deep, although life is deep. That's been my part on OCD and lies, or compulsive truth telling. I don't know, have a discussion in the comments, and I hope you have a good day, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.